Wait, he brought enchiladas from the future? I've never had an enchilada. Generic intro into that goes me. We're back with another episode of Welcome to Night Vale. Today we're doing 18, which is called The Traveler. Last week's video was Valentine. You can check my reaction to that video. I'll leave it right up there. Also link down below in the description. And then a playlist on my channel with all of my other Night Vale reactions going in chronological order. Apparently, they never bring up Cecil and Carlos going on a date because apparently it's assumed that like Cecil was disappointed that it wasn't actually a date. I think that's what the theory is. I do read all your comments, I'll leave them down below. Also, shout out to the patrons because they allow this series to exist. Radio Dano is actually the one that suggested that I watch it and start it, and we're going through it. And thank you so much for the support you've shown in the comment section. I really appreciate all the heartfelt comments. I really do. And the fact that apparently if you like search Night Vale or Welcome to Night Vale on Google Images, my thumbnails pop up for some reason, which is a little bit odd. But like I said, shout out to the patrons. It wouldn't be possible for them. They get the videos day early, $3 a month to get you all my reaction videos day early, which is a lot of videos. And like I said, I still read your comments whether you're patron or not, whether you're subscribed or not. But thank you so much for being here. Let's go and jump into episode 18, The Traveler. All right.
Night Vale t-shirts. We got them.
They are pretty sick.
And if you don't want them, then please listen to the following hypnotic tones.
Oh. Is it crying?
Turtles.
Oh.
Okay. Now that you want them, buy them.
They are pretty sick.
.com and support our show.
I looked at a lot of it. I'm like,
the optimist
that's actually kind of cool looking. I would actually wear some of them.
is half full.
Also, the music can be muted, so it's gonna be
the glass is half empty.
right there.
It is only the truth seeker who wonders, why is the glass there? Why is there water all over the floor? Why is it covering every other surface of the house? Who or what is doing this to us?
That's an excellent question.
Welcome to Night Vale.
Love it. What an intro. What an intro. I mean, last week we had, what, James Fink be the very first voice? Yeah, they don't talk about Carlos and Cecil's date, which makes me big sad. I guess it wasn't good for Cecil, which makes me sad. Hopefully he's still as passionate as ever.
A new traveler has arrived
in
Night Vale. This is not uncommon, perfectly located as we are, between several vertices. But this traveler is not one who will be mistaken for those other travelers.
What's that supposed to
You
mean?
know the ones. This traveler is said to have a foreign face and a handsome but terrible beard. He is reportedly wearing a uniform with silver epaulets, golden braid, and buttons of a metallic alloy not describable in our limited color language. This is all very similar to the marching band uniform of the Desert Bluffs
the next
Cacti
episode is 19A, I
to
would think.
the incident. But the traveler's uniform is not scorched
And then 19B is Desert
and
Bluff.
soaked with blood. I cannot say that I trust this interloper very much, and his actions do not give me reason to trust him, suggests the Manual on Interlopers, published by the Sheriff's Secret Police.
Oh, the police write books now.
According to the manual,
Manuals.
citizens are advised to not speak with the traveler and to dig a shelter in their garden, or if they do
How
not
long
have a
did
garden,
they expect that to
make
take?
themselves into a metaphorical shelter through vigilance and a positive outlook.
I mean,
Who can say what agenda the traveler might have? He
Fair.
drives a large and expensive truck. He digs in the desert late at night. He does not seem adequately respectful of forbidden areas. And he has already married Night Vale's third most beautiful woman.
Who's second?
Cactus June.
Who's second?
He
first?
persuaded her to come down from her cactus, and he has married her.
That was easy.
I am looking at a photograph of the wedding in the newspaper at this very moment.
Do they put pictures
Now,
of weddings in newspapers?
I am drinking something.
Good idea, Cecil.
Now, I am eating an enchilada that was just...
I've never had an enchilada. Here's the thing, I think he actually is.
Mayor Pamela Winchell called an emergency press conference today, her fourth this week. After
Pretty.
the usual crowd had gathered around, minus those arrested at previous press conferences, she began
What happens at a
proceedings
press
by
conference?
vibrating slightly.
What happens
and
Valentine's Day?
staring at the sun for 5 straight minutes.
That's good.
Once these usual pleasantries were over, she read her statement, which was the following. The fences in the caves, a heart throbbing for what it cannot have, a heart not having what it needs to throb. The fences in the caves, heat from below and above, but all is cold betwixt. The fences in the caves.
What are you talking about?
The fences in the caves. Then she vanished in a puff of green smoke. Several follow-up questions were asked, but since no one was at the podium, none of them were answered. Many of the questions were rhetorical anyway. After the round of questioning, a few arrests were made, and the chosen journalists were led away to wherever journalists are taken when they disappear forever. All in all, a relatively uneventful press conference.
Uneventful. I don't know if uneventful is the word I'd use.
And now a public service announcement.
By from who?
The Night Vale Psychological Association recommends that you spend at least 30 minutes each day believing what you see.
Only 30?
The NVPA cited a study showing that more than 60% of all working citizens live in a self-created dome of obstinance, distraction, and surreal fantasy. When confronted with actual things outside of their own understanding, referred to by the psychologists as real life, most test subjects closed their eyes and pretended there was a spider or something on the ground. The study does warn that trusting your own eyes can lead to some dangers.
Only some?
For instance,
not a lot?
Poltergeists, robots, and humidity may create visual illusions, tricking you into unsavory activities like gambling and eating non-foods.
What is a non-food?
So that they can gloat at your misfortune.
What?
But the NVPA assures us that taking what you see at face value, even if only for a few minutes daily, is the most efficient way to live.
Good to know.
It saves the mind from the emotional stress of self-fiction and skepticism. The NVPA statement adds that you look good in that shirt.
Thank you.
And that you should wear tighter clothing. People want to see what you look like under there.
I mean...
They also ask you to just touch their back.
It's a problem.
You don't have to rub it. Just touch it. Just put your hand there. God, I miss you so much. The report concludes.
That got weird.
This just in. The traveler and his wife, Cactus Judy, were seen shopping at the Ralph's just moments ago. He was shaking his head at the fashion of our clothing and clucking derisively at our telephones and grocery scales. We have much better when I am from, said the traveler.
When I'm from, so he is a time traveler.
Which I am choosing to believe. He added, "That's right, I said when and not where." He then winked.
So he is a time traveler.
The sheriff's secret police,
not surprising for Night Vale at all,
are more than a little interested in the sudden reopening of Jerry's Tacos, located on the corner of Ouroboros Road. You will recall that Jerry's Tacos was encased in amber last summer with Jerry inside.
Oh, I mean, that happened to somebody in Genshin Impact.
It is as if Jerry never transgressed against nature with his enchiladas. The traveler has been spotted in the vicinity of Jerry's Tacos. If I were you, and I do not believe I am,
I don't think you are me either.
I would be very careful about ordering anything off the secret menu at Jerry's. Definitely do not order anything off the Forsaken menu.
Oh? That's the first thing I'm gonna do.
And now for corrections.
Oh, more corrections?
In a previous report,
Oh, no.
we at Night Vale Community Radio
Is it gonna be in a list
were
again?
talking about the commonly held belief that there is such a thing as mountains. We scoffed at this belief and bellowed repeatedly, "It is flat all the way round. It is flat."
I guess if you're in a
all
desert,
the
but even if you're in like a desert, you can
round.
see mountains. They're just super
We
far
wrote
away.
lists
Like
of
if I was in
friends
Vegas,
we knew
I looked
to
at that mountain, I'm
believe
like,
in
it's not even
mountains,
close.
and sent the lists to the city council, recommending that all of them be put into indefinite detention. We got physically violent with an effigy labeled Mountain Believer.
Mountain Believer. It
punching
sounds like Genshin Impact now.
repeatedly before burning it
Mountain
in
Shaper.
our station's bloodstone circle.
Why is
In
this in a
fact,
bloodstone circle?
we devoted a full day of our programming to getting together the entire station staff
For what?
and screaming in unison, "Mountains, more like nothings," into the
Nope,
microphone.
I've definitely climbed mountains. I've sat on the
Recently,
edge of
one
mountains,
of our
cliffs.
previously mentioned friends, who thankfully had not
You can't
yet
take me
been
on a hike 'cause I climb
apprehended by
things.
the council, took us for a drive out to a mountain. We looked at the mountain and even touched it, and it was definitely real. Therefore,
I know people
we
that
are
have never
forced
even
to
seen a
admit
mountain.
There is indeed at least
Like people
one
in,
mountain in this world.
Eastern Texas,
And
like
we
Austin.
apologize
They're like, yeah, I've never seen a
for
mountain
our
before. I'm like,
previous
what?
energetic assertions to the contrary.
And Illinois does that.
I'm still
mountains.
not completely sold on there being more than one mountain. It's possible that the mountain apologists built a single mountain in order
really?
to prove their skewed worldview.
I mean, there's a big mountain
Not
on Mars.
certain, listeners. Not certain, but possible. This has been corrections.
You know, there's a lot of theories out there. I don't think there's any theories that say
Here
mountains
now
don't exist.
is an update.
To what?
We're getting reports that the traveler was just seen standing on the tailgate of his truck and addressing a small crowd of curious people.
Probably drives his Cybertruck or
I
something.
have traveled here from the future.
How far in the future?
I have saved Night Vale from destruction, and I will save
How?
it again.
Well, how?
The traveler reportedly
Who's going
said
to destroy it?
the
Is it
crowd.
the people under the bowling alley?
You do not know this because your memories have been changed along with the course of events. Now that I have altered the past, I cannot
butterfly
return to
effect.
my own time.
Now he's stuck there.
I
The
am
traveler's
staying
just
here.
gonna be here.
I will show
new character
you
alert.
the way. I hope you enjoy my enchiladas.
Wait, he brought enchiladas from the
Sheriff's
future?
secret police said they can bring no charges against the traveler.
Why?
As
Why would they
Night
bring
Vale
charges against him?
recently voted to decriminalize time travel. Just what did the traveler
enough.
mean when he said he saved our town?
I didn't know it was in
How will he
danger.
save it again? We have always trusted in the unknowable purposes of the hooded figures. Can we afford to abandon what we presume is their wisdom and follow this new prophet of tomorrow?
Can somebody ask him to prove?
And now
The future?
a paid editorial sponsored by Yelp.com.
Really? What? This is for Yelp. They're just having
This
fun
has
with
been
it.
a paid editorial sponsored by Yelp.com.
It must be.
Here's a look at the community calendar. 8 p.m. Thursday at Dark Owl Records, Curtis Mayfield reads from his new book, Where Am I? I Cannot See, Cannot Feel.
How'd you make a book
Do
if you
not
can't
know who I
see?
am or how long I have been here, a memoir.
Oh.
Friday afternoon is free admission day at the Children's Science Museum.
That's fun.
After school, take the kids to the newest exhibit, Frogs, Truth or legend.
Nope, frogs definitely
They've
are
also
real.
installed a new interactive learning room where young scientists can play freely with such scientific items as paint thinner,
Oh.
nail polish remover,
Very.
glass cleaner, and a half-empty bucket of grout starter.
What happens if you mix those things together? What
Saturday
happens?
has been merged with Sunday to create Super Day.
Doesn't sound
Monday
bad.
will not harm you, but you should stock up on latex gloves.
I already got some.
nonetheless.
I always have some.
And Tuesday is Hornet-free dining at the Olive Garden. More news soon, but first, the weather.
These bot comments drive me crazy. I had to stay on top of it. I read over 50,000 comments last year. All of a sudden, weather's gonna be muted. Try to play a game. Guess what the weather is? It sounds kind of country-ish. I'm searching for something. Can't describe. But yeah, no, the weather. I had the timestamp, so the longer number is gonna be my video. Shorter number is gonna be where it is in actual Night Vale. Okay. The weather is quite interesting. Do people like the weather? Because like every time I watch a Night Vale video, like on my computer, I like try to find where the weather actually starts. It's always like where you see the parts that people skip to, and everybody skips to the end of the weather. Like, do people not like the weather, or do people search specifically not for the weather? I don't know. But I mean, it's a really good way that they added it into it, you know. Like, they did a really good job with incorporating that to kind of like, you know, introduce it to a new audience. Hopefully people listen to it and they enjoy it, and hopefully it does well for these musicians. Night Vale. Yeah, I was actually surprised at how much stuff they have on the website and how much of it was actually good. Oh shit. I cannot react to Dragon Ball on YouTube. Come on now. Sometimes I like see a comment and I see the notification, and I'll see like the first part and I'm just like, oh god, this is not gonna be good. Not a bad song.
Ladies and gentlemen, and those of you not clearly falling into either category, it is my ambivalent duty to
What
report
is that word?
that the traveler is suddenly gone.
Where'd the traveler go?
His photograph has disappeared from the front page of the newspaper.
So he was never
His
there?
truck is missing.
He's never there.
Some who reported seeing him have called back to say that they must have been mistaken.
For what?
And that they have never seen anything. That they don't even know how to open their eyes. Perhaps he has leaped again through the stream of time, or passed to an alternate dimension created by the changes he has made to our world.
Heh.
Or perhaps he was surrounded suddenly by the hooded figures.
Oh, they're like,
speaking
but
in voices
you're allowed to time
that
travel
only
now.
the traveler could hear. Perhaps they closed
I thought he
in
was
on
gonna
him,
save them.
and he panicked as their circle tightened and tightened around him until all that could be seen by horrified onlookers were the hooded figures. And perhaps, just as suddenly, the hooded figures were gone, and nothing remained of the traveler except for a pile of indescribable buttons from his uniform, left
Okay.
scattered around the hole in the vacant lot out back of the Ralphs. Whatever happened, I can only say, farewell, traveler. In other news, Jerry's Tacos, now and forever,
Has enchiladas?
shall be under the management of the Hooded Figures.
Oh, okay.
Plants in the vicinity of the restaurant
plants?
have already begun to wilt.
Why?
And animals and insects are avoiding the area.
I guess
The
that's a business
restaurant has
decision.
been renovated to resemble a 9-meter-high black monolith with no visible entrance. If we learn of any
That's fine.
change in the menu or pricing, you will be the first to know.
Of course.
Finally, we are pleased to end today's broadcast with some happy news from
Wow.
Night Vale's hospital.
Night Vale has a
There have
hospital,
been
which probably has
several
seen
additions
everything under the
to
sun.
the community. Talk Wallaby's wife, Herschel, has given birth to an adult man's detached hand, which they have named Megan. The Black Dauphin has given birth to a smooth metallic pellet of astonishing density.
What?
It joins
What is
3
going on?
previous pellets with similarly
What is happening?
curious properties currently being kept inside a safe in the Sheriff's Secret Police's Secret Police Vault. And the beautiful widow, Cactus Jane,
Oh, I
whose
guess.
husband we no
Disappeared.
longer remember at all,
Okay, well, that's
is
what we're doing.
glad to bring into this world a baby boy she has named Champ. The birth was attended by several agents from a vague yet menacing government agency.
That's odd.
Champ is said to be a child with a foreign face and a handsome but terrible beard.
A baby with a beard? A newborn with a beard. Okay.
Well, listeners, this has been another day.
It's been something.
Another night. Another bit of time.
Night Vale
in
hits
this
differently
bit
at night.
Of space.
I'm recording.
I'm
Last week's
sitting
was
at
like
my
9:30.
desk,
This
feet
week's is at 4:30.
planted on old, thinning carpet, but in my mind, I am anywhere but. I am above, in the sky above, looking down at our
Still no
little
Carlos,
night
though.
vale. I see the lights in grids and curves, and the places where there are no lights, because they are off, or missing,
Or they never.
or invisible.
Invisible lights.
I see roads with cars, and the cars have people in them.
We didn't get the
And
traffic
the people
today.
are traveling
Or
through the dark
or the,
and the comfort and
what,
light
sponsors
of the cars,
outside of the Yelp?
And I see all of this from above. I see where the town gives way gradually to the desert. The last few lights from the last few homesteads, like stray sparks from a campfire, tossed out into the absolute black of the scrublands and the sand wastes.
Of course.
I see the orbit of citizen around citizen. All these ordinary Night Valians about their
Night-Valians.
ordinary lives.
That's what, of
in
course,
this
it would be called.
singular, extraordinary place we call home. Moving higher into the cold, thin air of the upper atmosphere, I see below me the crisscrossed lines of contrails and chemtrails, the signature of air machines that have long since moved on,
Yeah.
the footprint of our civilization upon the night sky. And looking up, I see only the stars and the void, all a little closer than they were before, all still
Is he still okay?
so unreachably distant.
It
I
doesn't
have
sound like he's
something
okay.
of urgent importance to tell you,
Okay.
but I will tell it to you later.
Man, why?
Or I will tell it to you not at all.
Okay, fine then.
Certainly, I will not tell it to you now.
Why not? Tell me now. Tell me now I'm gonna throw
I
up.
merely look from the vantage point of my own imagination down at a town busy with its own existence. And for now, existence is enough. Stay tuned next for an exact word-for-word repeat
Of what?
of this broadcast.
Oh,
That
I
will
guess
seem to you
on repeat.
imperceptibly but unshakably different.
what do you mean by
Although
that?
you will never be able to explain why. Good night,
Huh.
Night Vale.
Good night, Cecil.
Good night.
I still got to play Undertale in 18 minutes. I still got 2 more videos to record. Woohoo! This
Welcome
is video
to Night
number
Vale is a production of Commonplace
6.
Books.
Yeah.
It is written by Joseph Fink and Jeffrey Craner and produced by Joseph Fink. This episode's time traveler story was written by Zach Parsons.
Oh.
Read new
We
work
have people
from him multiple
that
times
write
a week
little
on
mini stories?
somethingawful.com and buy his new dark genre-hopping sci-fi novel Liminal States on amazon.com. The voice of Night Vale is Cecil Baldwin.
Of course.
Original music by Disparition. All of it can be downloaded for free at disparition.info. This episode's weather was Jews for Jesus Blues by Clem Snide.
That's a name
Find
of
out
a
more
song.
at clemsnide.com. We would like to thank our Night Vale intern, Adam Donnells, who,
Oh,
due
no.
to an
Oh,
accident
no.
during the
Oh,
research
no.
of today's time travel plot, no longer ever existed.
No
Want
longer.
to have your music featured in the weather section? Want to contribute your talents to the show? Just want to say
Hi.
hi? Email us at nightvale@commonplacebooks.com.
What's the
Or
proverb?
follow us on Twitter at Night Vale Radio. Check out commonplacebooks.com for more
Lost and
information on this
Found?
show, as well as our books on the unused story ideas of H.P. Lovecraft and what it means to be a grown-up. Today's proverb: find more ways to work plinth into daily conversation.
What do you... is that an actual word? It's not real. Okay, so that was Night Vale 18, The Traveler, which I guess time travel is now legal in Night Vale, which I don't know why it was ever not illegal. I don't think if it's actually illegal at all, but this is The Traveler. It was 18. Next one's going to be 19A, which is going to be The Sandstorm, and then after that we're going to Desert Bluffs, which is going to be interesting. First time going anywhere other than Night Vale, and I wonder if Cecil's still going to be the voice of Desert Bluffs Radio. So I'm not really sure. See how Night Vale has the crescent? I'm not sure what the symbol is, the circle, like the almost complete circle for Desert Bluffs. But I look forward to whatever comes next. I hope to see their patrons get the videos there early. I read all your comments, leave them down below. But until next video, take care and cue the music.
We were playing